So there's a video right now making the rounds called Beautiful Women Wonder Why Men Don't Approach Them. And the person who's talking about this, I know him as Sargon of Akkad. Um, I think about 7, 8 years ago, I used to watch his stuff kind of heavy. I'm not exactly sure where he is right now with the way that things are going on in the world, but somebody saw this video. They told me to look at it. We're gonna go look at it. Beautiful women wonder why men don't approach them. Let's see what we find out.
There's a really interesting trend at the moment of very attractive women complaining that men are no longer approaching them. And I find this absolutely fascinating. When I was a young man, I only plucked up the courage to actually just walk up to a random woman on the street once because she was really attractive and say, "Hey, would you like to go out?" She turned me down, right?
I mean, it is what it is. They tell people that the only way to get over that and to have more success is to continuously do that until you no longer have the fear of that. My problem with that type of thing is I've seen guys, or I've seen girls like a guy and then will completely change on them based on their friends. I've seen girls who like guys and then once they get the ick or whatever random thing that they make up in their head, all of a sudden all of the shit goes out of the window. When I was much younger, there was a girl that wanted to talk to me. I came up to her. I forgot what I said, but apparently she found it as threatening. Again, this is coming from a kid who I'm not used to that shit when I was much younger. I guess that she was. I said something that wasn't right, but again, I'm a young guy. Didn't have a chance. After that, I just said fuck that. So some guys will keep doing it and then they end up becoming fucking dogs. And then the women wonder why the guys who are going up to them and trying to bag them immediately over and over and over, yo, ma, what's good? This, that, and third. Or and any race does that disgusting shit. And then they wonder why the quality of men that they're getting are only shit stains.
Every other time I've got girlfriends or women who have been interested in me,
They
they
came to me.
typically come to me and sort of signal to me that they're interested. Uh,
Fucking said it. The way that you get somebody like me, right? Because I'll sit there and even if I think you like me, I will not make a move. The way that you get somebody like me and the women that's always come up to me have always been aggressive in terms of getting me. And I mean, that's just the way that it is. It works in their fucking favor, right? I'll give you hints that I like you in X, Y, and Z, but I will never, ever, ever step out of the way because the thing is, and the crazy thing is girls that don't like you will do all this extra shit to make you think that they like you. Like some real fucked up shit. But girls that do like you, you'll never know. The only way you'll know is that they watch you when you sleep on some fucking Twilight shit, right? Outside your window or when you're at the gym. Or they'll ask you they'll ask you to for weight or whatever like this. Actually like a random question. Then they won't talk to you for like a whole month and then sit there and be like, why do guys lose interest? Shit happens. It's stupid.
and so, frankly, I've never been the sort of like, walk up to a girl and just start chatting her up type. But most of the time, women will signal when they are interested in you, and you just, if you're interested back, you can pick it up and go from there. But I think that there is at least a certain kind of woman who enjoys the attention, right? Who likes to know that actually she is an attractive woman and she's flattered by men making the effort and, well, as this woman says, catcalling her. Let's listen.
Tell me why every day I go out, looking adorable, tits bouncing, skin glistening, and yet nobody ever hits on me or approaches me.
We have been told for many, many years, and even people like me, even people like me who, even people like me who, again, I clocked out about damn near 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago after I got fucking done dirty. The thing is, we have been told do not approach women, for example, like this woman right here, she is on a jog, right? Do not approach women when they got their earphones in. Do not approach women when they have their sunglasses on. Do not approach women when they are doing things. It's rude, it's misogynistic, it's X, Y, and Z. So a lot of guys at some point don't care about your tits bouncing. We can see that through with thousands and hundreds of millions of fucking girls on OnlyFans, right? None of that matters anymore. And then forgive if a guy ends up getting caught looking at some chick's tits. Now you probably ended up getting a dog who just doesn't give a shit, right? No one cares about that no more. Just pointing that out there. We've been told not to do it for so long that now men are just not doing it.
Ever. Oh my god, please. I'll take a fucking construction worker cat call at this point.
So, now there are many people who are saying, well, and this is another video of the woman in the orange dress here. Again, very attractive women, and men are just not approaching them. And they're becoming frustrated by it. And as Con here points out, many women, not all of them, spent the majority of the 2010s bitching about rape culture and misogyny and catcalling and Me Too, and now mad that young men aren't comfortable approaching them. You
And here's the funny thing about that. If you are not an easy seven, like I think on my best day, when I was younger, in shape, I was a six at best. I never viewed myself as anything higher than that. I think that people who are just naturally really attractive, like when I look at girls, you'll never hear me give a girl a fucking 10, right? That's fucking crazy. That's some simp culture shit. I will never do that. But I gave a girl a solid. I was like, "Oh, you're an easy seven." And she was like, "Oh, why did you just give me a seven?" I said, "Well, first and foremost, you don't have makeup on, right? You're not trying to look super duper pretty. This is just you, just normal. And even if you did put on makeup and X, Y, and Z, the number doesn't get much higher, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being a seven, right? But let's say if I was a seven, let's say if you, for a guy, even if you was talking to a girl who was a seven or a six, you gotta be an eight or in their eyes a nine, right? And you can be a 10 if you're 6 inches, 6 inches, more than 6 inches, six figures, 6 feet type shit, right? The thing that's so crazy about it is it's not the same for men or women. It really isn't. So again, it's really unfortunate. But again, this is the reason why men don't approach these women is because if you are not better than them, if you do not make more than them, they overlook you.
create the problem. I don't think it's just young men, although I think the age thing is an interesting question. Because, I mean, this woman looks like she's in her early 20s, and, well, do men in their early 20s actually spend a lot of time dating anyway? It seems that a lot of
They want to, they don't. They would love to. They don't. I believe they said that it was 70% of men up to the ages of 17 to like fucking 35 have not had a real dating experience. Not fucking, not having sex with some girl who just gives him some. We're saying an actual, legit, authentic dating experience, a real one. Not, oh, me and this girl went out. Yeah, that's not a date. I'm talking about legit. Hey, I would like to take you on a date X, Y, and Z. Do you want to go? Hey, let's go do something. And it's just me and you specifically. You know what it is. You know what you're getting yourself into. You're planning it. A lot of guys are not doing it. Now, girls, on the other hand, girls are consistently dating. And a lot of them, strangely enough, are dating. If the young men are not dating, but young women are dating, that is telling us 100% that who the fuck are they dating? They're dating older men. I used to have this fucking thing in my head when I was much younger that I used to sit there and go, when I get older, am I going to be attracted to younger women? Because my affinity is I like older women, but that's because I'm fucked up. Some bullshit happened to me that I found out I have a fetish for older women, I think. I think that's what it is. Anyway, and older women did horrible things to me when I was younger, whatever. And so I just like fucking MILFs. But the thing is, I used to say that to myself, but the thing is, nothing stopped me when I was much younger going after older women. And now that I'm an older dude, I sit there and I'm just like, well, if she's able to hold a conversation with me, what's the difference between a girl being fucking 19, 18, 25, or whatever like that, compared to my age, when you have girls who are my age, when you have girls who are older than my age, when you have girls damn near about to hit the fucking grave, right, on their deathbeds, who still have the mental capacity of girls in high school.
Gen Z are quite shy, introverted.
Oh yeah, and also the girls who are younger are dating or dating much older guys because they have resources and status or whatever like that, and they can give them what they want. They don't even look at younger guys. And this is all races. This is every single fucking race at this point.
Not great at approaching one another, and I mean, not entirely their fault. Probably a lot due to social media and the internet and the fact that they've got phones, so they don't have to actually go up and personally involve themselves. Um, and they seem to have been losing the customs on how to show someone that they're interested that isn't um, embarrassing or humiliating in some way, and that protects the dignity of both people involved. And I don't blame them. I mean, these are things that I think generally haven't been well passed down. I, I remember my dad telling me, you've just got to go and ask. And the worst she can say is no. I mean, that's not true. The worst.
I was about to say that. That is not the worst that can happen. That is absolutely not the worst that can happen. A girl can do so much more than just saying no. A girl can crush you. And the thing is, guys and women are very different. Not all guys, not all women. But a guy will sit there at the end of the day and he will look in the mirror and the mirror will be like, you son of a bitch. You fucking loser. You fucking loser. If you was better, that wouldn't have happened. And now every girl thinks that exact same fucking thing. You fucking loser. That's exactly how guys are. We have this invisible fucking ladder like a video game. You guys remember Mortal Kombat back in the day? You would pick a difficulty and you would see your fucking character, what the wall? And then you would just see a fucking ladder, right, of the people you were about to fight. And all of these fucking girls are all shallow, and it gets worse and worse the higher you get. You go from a decent girl, and then you'll start ended up with like fucking low quality women, and then you start getting up to the point where you got, you're trying to fucking swing out of the fences, and they're not really out of the fences, but they're out of the fences for you as the difficulty level rises. Yeah, it can get so much worse than just them saying no. Let me just put it to you like that, right? Invisible ladder, it exists, and it scars men for life. This is the reason why when a girl compliments a guy, because it's so fucking rare, we can remember it for the rest of our goddamn lives.
She can do is laugh at you. But that hasn't happened to me, but I can imagine that happens, and it's absolutely harrowing. But at the end of the day, as a man, it's tough, and you will get over it. It's not the end of the world. But the times that it does work, then when you think, okay, that woman actually seemed to quite like me, and I'm going to go up and ask her out. It's actually really gratifying, and you feel like you've accomplished something. I said I only done once, but now I'm thinking about it. I have actually done it a few more times than that. It was only once that I walked past this woman, and I was just like, wow, she's really attractive. And I was single at the time and walked up to her. But other times where it's, like I had a date with a girl who sold internet. She was, one of the women on the street, people on the street who were trying to sell broadband, whatever, like 15, 20 years ago. I can't remember how long.
Oi, you got a license for that? You piece of shit. You fucking Brit or whatever the fuck you guys are across the pond. You got a license to take a shit? You got a license for that toilet paper?
And I didn't want it, but I ended up getting it because she was really cute. And I asked her on a date, and she was like, yeah.
That shit unlocked the core memory. I was working for Amazon, I believe, when I was in New York a long, long time ago. I forgot what they were. Before Amazon was, before they let themselves be known that they were working in New York City, trying to make a foothold in New York City because they was basically in Seattle. This was like probably 10 years ago, whatever, like this. I was delivering a package and a woman came up behind me and she was trying to like sell perfume. And I remember her sitting there and like, and in my head, I was like, oh no, she's like, oh, are you interested in any perfume? And I'm like, oh no. And then she goes, oh, well, what about for your girlfriend? I was like, nah, I don't, no girlfriend. She goes, oh, you don't? Well, you should. And I remember her saying, like, her line of things in my head, now that I think about it, and whenever it crosses my mind, I'm like, yo, that girl actually fucking liked me. And me being me, not experiencing that type of shit or just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I could have probably have gotten her because she was consistently trying to talk to me for a good 10 minutes, and I was just sitting there like, oh no, 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 thank you. But then again, a lot of guys are not experienced, and a lot of guys are dumb. Now, of course, on the other side of the coin, I've done the opposite, but I was joking, right? So high school, girl barely knows a lick of English. First time she gets to the class, I give her my full direct attention, and I'm as the kids say, bagging her up, right? And of course, I'm doing this for shits and giggles. That girl, I was unaware that girl had a massive crush on me. Learned English, all of that shit. Massive crush on me. Another girl in high school, whatever like that, or a little bit after high school. At the end of the school year, she came up to me to go say something. I remember sitting there, and these was my legit words. You waited until the end of the school year. It's over. And walked off. And all the dudes was like, dude, what the fuck, dude? To this day, they remind me every single time we go, oh, you remember when you did that to that girl? What the fuck, man? It is what it is.
Okay, great. It didn't go anywhere, but like, it's no big deal. But I ended up with that broadband for a goddamn year.
It's a year. That's a win.
The point is, when you do it and it goes quite well, then okay, great, you know. But anyway, that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is there's definitely an atmosphere that was created by the feminism of the 2010s, and this, I think, genuinely has had effects. I mean, you know, Me Too, the hysteria about catcalling and misogyny and rape culture and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, you can say thanks to Anita Sarkeesian, who herself probably been catcalled 1 or 2 times. She's not hideous, but you know, who had to marry herself incidentally. And now these women are feeling the effects of it. That's definitely an issue. And there are lots of women all over the place. It's not just like the odd TikTok video. Like this one here. I'm wondering if guys still approach women they don't know but are attracted to, or this basically never happens anymore. I, as a woman, don't get approached while walking the street in the grocery store, etc. Men seem to like me at work and on dating apps, but the approach thing from strangers just doesn't happen. And what's really
That's the fucking problem. Every single woman is on a fucking dating app. And that's a big, massive problem. That is a massive problem. I think this is just me, this is just me saying this. I believe it's so much better when you have some type of foundation when it comes down to, courting or talking to a girl, right? Like, for example, you've ever seen those couples or those people that the only reason why they're not together is because they haven't acknowledged it just yet, but they're doing things as a couple will do. They know it, but at the same time, they won't cross that line kind of thing. Have you guys seen that, or have you guys ever participated in that kind of thing where you're hanging out or whatever like that, and you're both, you know, in proximity to each other, way too close to each other, way too leaning on each other, caring for each other kind of thing. But you're not boyfriend and girlfriend just yet. It's like this invisible goddamn barrier. Instead of the other, which is instant gratification, which is on the internet, somebody swipes left and swipe right. I think that degrades the whole. I think that a relationship that is built slowly is much more stronger as a connection than. And it's not to say that people can't be in good relationships the other way, but the other way is now the standard. The other way is I want it right then and there. I want to answer right then and there, and you don't even know these fucking people, right? They have not courted you, they have not done anything to you, and you are judging. For women, women are judging men based on their how much they bring in, what's their occupation, and just stupid shit like this that any other man could probably get. And does the attraction change? And for guys, I guess it's just guys are just fucking clocked out. They're just clocked out.
really funny is they're looking going through this and being like, oh, maybe we need to have some sort of social signal, like dropping a handkerchief, see if the guy's interested.
Women used to do that back in the day. I don't even think this guy right here is aware of that. Grandma used to do that back in the day. Women had a lot of power back in the day. That's how a girl sees a guy that they like, they drop a handkerchief. The guy picks it up. Here you go, ma'am, and then the conversation starts. Women used to have a women had and still have a lot of fucking power. They just don't do it. They just don't use it properly.
And there was someone in this thread. I was reading through it before I started recording this. They're like, yeah, but what if the guy doesn't pick it up? That'd be devastating, absolutely devastating. I don't know. I can't find the thing, but okay, yeah, it would, but at least it wouldn't be like obvious. At least you could play it off as if, oh, I just dropped that. I didn't mean to drop it. I wasn't trying to signal. But anyway. So yeah, you've got like other videos of women who are just trying to think of ways to get guys to approach them, because again, like I think for a lot of women, it's not necessarily that they are actually they want loads of guys to be hitting on them, but what I think it is just for them to feel secure about themselves, and also gives them something interesting to say about the night. Like it gives them a social status over other women that these two are talking about instantly. It gives them sort of like it's a story, right? That they can tell their friends and say, "Oh, this guy approached me. Oh my god, he was this, he was that, whatever."
What it sounds like to me after listening to this man or listening to these women, it sounds like as though they want the work done for them. They're so used to not doing any fucking thing. And mind you, the ball is completely in their court. They lose absolutely nothing but gain everything if they're the initiators. It's a woman's world. We're in hoflation at the moment. It sounds like they want these fucking guys to come to talk to them, and a lot of guys are not doing that anymore because a lot of guys have clocked the fuck out. It is what it is at this fucking point, and it's sad that it's gotten to this point, but that's what it sounds like. Instead of these women doing that, or they have not learned, they want everything to be brought to them. They want to be the boss girls, they want to be boss bitches, they want to be all of this, the baddies and X, Y, and Z, but they're afraid to actually do any of the actual legwork, and it's fucking hilarious.
It's like the odd TikTok video. Uh, they're self incidentally, and now these women are feeling the effects of it. That's definitely an issue, and there are lots of women all over the place. It's not just like the odd TikTok video, uh, like this one here. I'm wondering if guys still approach women they don't know but are attracted to, and this basically never happens anymore. I, as a woman, don't get approached while walking the street in the grocery store, etc. Men seem to like me at work and on dating apps, but the approach thing from strangers just doesn't happen.
Oops, I went back too far.
Is they're looking devastating. Um, I think it is just for them to feel secure about themselves, and also gives them something interesting to say about the night. Like it gives them a social status over other women that these two are talking about instantly. It gives them sort of like it's a story, right? That they can tell their friends and say, "Oh, this guy approached me. Oh my god, he was this, he was that, whatever." But also, it reassures them. Oh, right, no, I am still actually attractive. Because a couple of years ago, I remember doing a video about women when they get older and they start to feel invisible, and it's because, like, when you're a young and attractive woman, you at least know that men notice you, and I think that for a lot of attractive young women, they feel important. They feel, oh right, no, I have a place in society, and these guys are looking at me, they're checking me out. Even if they're not approaching me, I'm on their radar, right? They understand that I am a thing that matters in the grand scheme of male-female relationships, and so in society itself, I'm sort of put on the map. But what these women are really complaining about is, I think, that they feel that they aren't on the map anymore. And this is the same thing that the older women were complaining about. When women get to like their 40s and 50s, and men are no longer just checking them out. You know, they no longer catch men just having a sideward glance, you know, admiringly. Which, again, the feminists have done a superb job of stigmatizing this. But actually, I think for a lot of women, and just a tangent on this, think about the kind of women who are feminists. Very rarely the attractive ones, right? Very rarely the ones who are getting catcalled. So in a way, feminism was kind of like a negative mating strategy, and they've ruined it for the decent-looking women. And you can thank your sisters on that one. They were fighting for your rights, not to feel flattered when you're walking around at night in your best clothes, looking as gorgeous as you can. Like, your sisters have done this for you. But I think they're entering the same status as women who grow older. And so, you know, when women get to like their 50s and men are no longer, like, they're no longer a presence on the radar. They're no longer, oh, maybe she's maybe she'd be interested or something like that. That no longer happens because men just aren't thinking, okay, I want a 50-year-old woman. I'm going to pick up a 50-year-old woman. So it's one of those things that the older invisible women who didn't get married and don't have kids and don't have families, this is one of the things that, by the way, ladies, you're going to want to get married and have kids so you don't turn into what's like the odd end of the world. And it's because, like, when 40s and 50s, and men...
I actually think that that's not true. When it comes down to older women are still attractive to the same age guys or even older or younger guys. The thing is that those women who are in those, the women who are talking about they feel invisible, the only reason why they feel invisible is because they no longer get the instant attention that they got or consistently throughout the years when they were younger. It's becoming less and less. It's fading. However, there are still women who are in their 40s, pushing their 50s, who still have charm and they know how to work with the charm to still be attracted to men, right? in their age or slightly younger or whatever like that, a woman who is 40, let's say 42, can still be attractive, even attracted to dudes in their fucking 20s if they have some type of charm. A woman like this right here who is sitting here talking about she doesn't know what she's doing wrong. She's looking good. Her skin is glistening. Her tits are bouncing. And she wonders why no guys are approaching her will be the same exact women in her fucking 40s talking about she feels fucking invisible when she doesn't want to do any of the fucking legwork whatsoever. Maybe back in the day, it was much more different because when it came down to men, we built the nest, chicks came. Right now, women are the ones who they can do a fraction of the work and get nest money. And when they get nest money, they don't want the fucking the dudes, the men who used to build the same nest anymore. They don't want that. They want a motherfucker who has a whole tree, right? They want the dude who has the whole tree. Chicks like that no longer want to come to a dude who can make a nest because they can make a nest. Not only can they make a nest, they can make a nest and then make fun of the dudes who used to be able to make the nest or can make a nest for themselves because they can make the same nest. So it is what it is.
And I'm no longer just checking them out. They no longer catch men just having a sideward glance, admiringly, which is stigmatizing this. But actually, I think for a lot of women, and just a quick tangent on this, think about the kind of women who are feminists. Very rarely the attractive ones, right? Very rarely the ones who are getting.
That's not true. Most women are feminists by default because in their eyes, as long as it has the word female in it, they think that is good. It's a tribalistic mindset. Most women are feminists until a dinner bill is put on the table. That's just the fucking truth. And again, a lot of women politics change based on who fucks them the best. It is really sad, but it is what it is. Um, I don't think personally, in my opinion, the saddest thing, and I've noticed this consistently, it's always the worst women tainting the well, or the worst dudes tainting the well, but overwhelmingly feminist type mindseted women who they probably don't even identify as feminists or don't even know what it is. It's just they're born into it, it's ingrained where they they will consistently go into a dating pool or consistently be dating twice a month or whatever like this with their same mindset and blaming men, all men, but it's they're the common denominator in the fucking problem in the equation, right? And they don't learn. And this is what they do all the way until they get into their 30s, 35s, even their 40s, and then sit there and go, oh, I don't understand why guys no longer are attracted to me or why I can't catch a guy looking at my ass anymore. It's because there's other girls out there. And now the thing that you used to have, which is great, which by the way, I've seen a lot of feminists with some amazing titties. I've seen a lot of lefty women with banging bodies, and they're batshit fucking crazy. Again, I think a lot of guys, we need to get over the whole notion of female parts to do better as men. I think that if a lot of guys can get over that, like the whole like a lot of guys, there's some guys out here who like, yeah, I'm just leave that alone.
So in a way, feminism was kind of like a negative mating strategy, and they've ruined it for the decent-looking women. And you can thank your sisters on that one. They were fighting for your rights, not to feel flattered when you're walking around at night in your best clothes, looking as gorgeous as you can. Like, your sisters have done this for you. But I think they're entering the same status as women who grow older. And so, when women get to like their 50s and men are no longer, like, they're no longer a presence on the radar. They're no longer, oh, maybe she's maybe she'd be interested or something like that. That no longer happens because men just aren't thinking, okay, I want a 50-year-old woman. I'm going to pick up a 50-year-old woman. So it's one of those things that the older invisible women who didn't get married and don't have kids and don't have families, this is one of the things that, by the way, ladies, you're going to want to get married and have kids so you don't turn into one of these invisible women. It will happen to you too, because this is the nature of what the manosphere uncharitably but fairly calls the wall. When you reach the menopause, frankly, you stop being a viable mate in evolutionary terms, and then that just means that men don't generally tend to check you out. And younger women, it seems, are actually encountering this firsthand, and so they're strategizing. What can we actually do to not be invisible? Because we're still potential mates. What can be done? I mean, this is a fascinating video. This is absolutely fascinating. Let's watch this.
The dating scene is getting so bad in New York City that I am seeing on TikTok there are girls going into Midtown during the week and stealing Finance Bros salads for lunch. And then looking their name up from the salad order on LinkedIn and then messaging them through there and being like, hey, oh my god, so sorry, I grabbed your salad, like, let me just make it up to you and buy you a new one. And that's how they're like sliding it, which honestly, smart. Why are we stealing men's salads? Like, why can't they just come up to us?
Why are we stealing men's salads? First and foremost, I hope that this is fake because that's straight psychotic fucking behavior. And again, they would rather do psychotic shit than actually do any legwork. And when they do legwork, it's fucking deranged, right? Again, not beating the allegations that women like crazy shit. Never, never, never. They would rather be extremely fucking awkward and just psychotic behavior. I'm gonna steal your salad to try to talk to some dude. And then and imagine this, right? Imagine a girl's doing this, right? It'd be one thing if she kept the shit to herself. They're saying it online. Now, again, if this is real, imagine how fucking crazy this is. They're out here saying this shit and they're trying to normalize crazy shit like this, right? This is why it's so fucking funny when they get for example, the T app kind of thing. When people put out there that just how psychotic a lot of these fucking women are, and when you find out just how crazy they are, and you point it out to them and they just ignore it, it's crazy.
The bar, like, why is it getting to this point? Men, just please step up, or your salad
Step up.
fucking get taken. Your
Please step up.
It's gonna get taken.
Men, step up.
Seeing girls get so creative these days, like they're making bracelets with their phone numbers on them and giving them to you guys at the bars. They are taking pictures of you sneakily and then being like, hey, oh my god, making it their phone screen, and being like, hey, can you take a picture of me and my friends so you can see that your picture is their home screen? All just different ways to try to talk to you guys because you guys don't come up to us in New York City, and it's crazy.
So again, no matter what, no matter fucking what, it's men's fault. It is men's fault that men have clocked out because we have been consistently told do not go up to women. What was the fucking commercial recently that was it Gillette where there was a guy that was going up to a girl? Now don't get me wrong, they made the guy look fucking creepy. But the guy was going up to a girl that he found attractive, and then you got this black guy popping up. He's like, whoa, 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 hey, hold on now. Not cool, bro. And it's like, yeah, I can see a black guy doing that, but I can also now understand if it was a black guy stopping another black guy, that'd be one thing. But a white guy's going for it and a black guy stopping him, it's kind of, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's, again, fuck it. Let's get the race out of the way. It's a stupid ass fucking commercial, but this is the thing. Men have been consistently told that our existence is wrong. And now at the end of the day, no matter what, men, you need to step up or we're going to be psychotic about it. You're already psychotic. What are you doing? Tripling, quadrupling down on being psychotic and then expecting better results? What's the definition of even more insanity? Doing the same shit and expecting different results? What the fuck would you call this?
Okay, some of that was weird. If I talked to a woman and she had my picture as her phone screen, I'd be like, "What the hell's happening, man? Is this like some sort of weird, creepy Truman Show thing?" But there we go. I mean, that is clever and creative. Oh, I took your salad by accident. Blah blah blah. But this is what I mean. Like women will signal that they're interested, but I guess if they're not getting approached at all, well, this is actually becoming a problem for them, isn't it?
These women are being approached. Don't fall into that stupid shit. These women are absolutely being approached. They are ignoring the signs from the average dudes because they want something much more than the average dudes, or the word that they use right now is looks match. They want much better and out of their league than what they are. I forgot somebody who recently that women claim to be oppressed because they're not looking at guys that are on their same level or slightly above or slightly below. What they are looking at is the top pinnacle of guys in their eyes that are doing so much better than them, and then they consider those to be their level. So when they look at guys who have a bunch of money, make a bunch of money, they look at their lives and they're upset that their lives are not like their lives, right? And again, it's ridiculous.
Again, there are loads of videos of very attractive women who are just like, why can't I get a man? And one can't help but feel that it might be a sort of confluence. I think technology definitely has a role to play in this, and the kind of unwinding of society and the shared social customs and traditions that instructed men and women on how exactly to actually meet one another. I think that is genuinely a thing that's happened, although I obviously can't quantify it in any way. But I also do think it's the feminism. I do think that like a lot of men feel like they were essentially kind of beaten out of ever approaching women, and they're like, Jesus Christ, I don't want to come across as like some insane creep or anything. But Lisa Britton here makes a good point. There's a trend of women asking, well, what's wrong with men? Maybe they're asking the wrong question, and someone replies, well, they should hang out in the forest. I'm sure the bears would approach them. Well,
Oh shit!
this is something that a lot of men.
How could we forget? How could we forget? Not even 3 months ago, women were sitting there making the fucking argument that the bear is safer than the average guy. How do we forget this? Do you guys remember that shit? I remember literally sitting there and watching fucking decent quality women fall right into defending low quality women in that fucking argument. And it's just like, you stupid fucking twat. Are you insane? Are you fucking insane? You know what? Just like Mass Effect 3 when you shoot the fucking the child and then you hear the fucking alien voice that's completely about to destroy the human civilization. Oh no, sorry, not just human civilization, all sentient life across the galaxies, right? The cycle continues. That right there.
Men are worried about. They worry about coming off as creepy. And so it's like, well, there's the whole problem with feminism is that, I mean, there are lots of problems with feminism, but one of the main issues with feminism and why most women are not feminists, right? I remember back in like 2014 or whatever, the feminists were like, 80% of women agree with gender equality, and yet only like 10% of women call themselves feminists. Why? And it's because feminism contains within it a dark animus against men as men. They hate men, and they actually seek to destroy men. They seek.
No, most women are feminists. Most women, by nature, are feminists, into it directly affects them. Most women will vote right in line with feminist ways of thinking, until it directly affects them. Oh, we should allow infinite immigration. Oh, just because he was a dangerous criminal in his country, we should just release him into the street. We should just release these people and let them have redemption stories, even though he just ran a woman over multiple times that he just met at a bar. He ran this woman over multiple times until she turned into spaghetti. But he cute. Again, until it affects them directly, and then they want everyone to care about them or they change up their way of thinking. Sorry. Mm-mm. Most women are feminist. It doesn't mean that they're bad people. It's just by default, they're more of the sympathetic. They're the sympathetic of the two groups out of men and women. They're the more emotional out of the two groups. They don't look at the bigger picture in things. And this is not a knock to all women, but there are a lot of women who are just naturally feminists. For example, I'm a guy. I think I'm not a fucking manosphere guy. I'm not a manosphere guy, and yet I will agree with a lot of things as a guy because I have experience as a guy. I don't fucking hate women, but even I can acknowledge that I align a lot of times with the way a guy would think, or just a decent fucking individual, which is becoming rarer and rarer these days, right? I find myself agreeing with that because I'm a fucking guy. Women, feminism is ingrained in them, right? From even before 20 years ago. Anything a man can do, a woman can do better, right? This is just the way that it is. And it's consistently. It's in media, it's in music, it's in every fucking thing.
To unseat them from their positions of power and authority because they're men, not because they've done anything wrong. They just are resentful and spiteful against men. And if these women were allowed to control the discourse for a decade, which they were, Well, unsurprisingly, that does have consequences.
2 decades,
It
actually.
does have a knock-on effect that people go, oh, right, okay. If for some reason this is representative of women, and we all agree that the feminists represent women, well, then things change to, you get a natural and reasonable reaction to what is being broadcast. And so men are like, right, okay, I'm not allowed to approach women anymore. I don't want to come off as some guy at Mad Men or something, dinosaur. And so a lot of men just won't. Even if they see an attractive girl and they think, oh God, I wish I could. Apparently a lot of them don't. And now the women are beginning to notice this. And a lot of men just have never approached a woman in person.
Look at this shit. 45% of men age 18 to 25 have never approached a woman in person, and never. 60 to 70% of men say that the number one reason they won't approach women is fear of rejection. You have to be welcoming and comfortable with. You have to be welcoming of reject. Sorry, you have to be welcoming of and comfortable with rejection. You know how fucked up that is. If you fear being rejected, you'll never make a move. Men don't get to blame women. Oh, so she, hold on. So she had us in the first half, and then she just completely went back into the Hive way of thinking. So if we just make a red line right here, let's make a red line right here. Right here. We're going to make a red line right here from what Echo was saying. So everything else we can disregard, but we're going to read it anyway. So the first beginning of it, fine. But then she goes, you have to be welcoming of and comfortable with rejection. If you fear being rejected, you'll never make a move. Is that the same thing that's happening to women right now? Women are not approaching men, but they're complaining men are not approaching them. Again, they don't want to do any of the work. They want to be the top earners. They want to be the ones that are I'm what is it? I'm every woman. It's all of me or whatever. They want to do the Wonder Woman twirl, but not do any of the Wonder Woman work. Men don't get to blame women for why they're single when they're just sitting around waiting for a woman to approach them. There are plenty of good women out there who are ready for a good man. Shut the fuck up. Again, women, women, naturally, even if you put it in front of their fucking faces, they will always revert to the Hive. This is why I say there the three type of classes of women. You got your low quality women. Fuck those women. They're only good for a fuck. That's it. I hate to say it like that, but it is what it is. Some women are just not built to be high quality women. Some women are not decent quality women. Thank you for your cervix. You got decent quality women who can become high quality women, but the problem is the decent quality women are interwoven with the low quality women, and we can't tell the fucking difference anymore. Men cannot tell the difference anymore. We don't know if you're a low quality woman because you're sitting there in the mud with the fucking low quality women defending them on low quality hoe shit. What are men supposed to do? And we can't go to the high quality women because those girls are off the fucking market early because the dudes that found them, even if they were not the greatest dudes in the world, have been straightened out by them and they know how important they are and they're making families.
And 70% of men say the number one reasons they don't approach women is fear of rejection. So this is another thing. Like, and this is something that when I was young, women actually how to say it. There was less need for performative cruelty, right? Because when I was young, there was no social media. You weren't going to record this, put it up. You weren't going to share it online and get loads of upvotes, likes or whatever. There was no, a girl would tell like 3 or 4 of her friends, her close circle of friends, and then titter and whatever when you walk by. There was nothing really in being performatively sort of belligerent when rejecting someone. And so, honestly, and I know I'm going to sound like old man here, but when I was younger, I mean, there were plenty of girls that I thought liked me, that I asked out, that didn't like me, and they were quite kind when they said, "Oh no, no, thank you." Right? I appreciate the offer, but no, thank you. And that's rough, but it's not devastating. And within the next day, you just get over it and you carry on with your life. It's just the way that things go. Sometimes you roll the dice with someone that you either know or work with or whatever, and sometimes you don't get what you want. But I think that now there's a kind of hard edge to it, and I genuinely think it comes from feminism. I genuinely think it comes from a culture of thinking that men are basically oppressive and kind of hateful, frankly. And it's a culture that genuinely stigmatized men, and I can definitely see that as a younger man now, I would definitely say it's scarier as a younger man now to approach a woman. I could see why. I'm really, I think this is more of an American thing. I get the feeling that over in Britain, it's probably still not that bad. Although I have to say, I'm just judging from the young men I know in this age bracket that I know, because of course I never approach women. I don't go anywhere or do anything, with women at all. But I can see why younger men now would feel like it's more worrisome than it was when I was young. But maybe I'm overreacting. Honestly, I want to open this up to you guys in the comments, because honestly, I don't know, and I'm just. But there's got to be something to it, right? There's got to be something here, because it's weird that you get very beautiful women going, well, where the hell are the men? And the men going, well, look, we're a bit too afraid to approach you. There has to have been some reason for it, and it honestly probably is feminism.
I mean, maybe, maybe it's feminism. Again, if the only thing that you're bringing to the table is your beauty, you know what I'm saying? And somebody pointed it out. I think Steven Crowder said it, and someone else also said it. They was like, the thing that's so fucked up about Sydney Sweeney is that I don't think Sydney Sweeney's unattractive. I know there's people trying to turn her into like a Nazi symbol, which is fucking ridiculous and all of that shit. But the thing about Sydney Sweeney is Sydney Sweeney is just I don't mean this in any fucked up way because I don't think she's ugly at all. Somebody was like Sydney Sweeney is mid. I think that's fucked up to say it that way. I think it's fucked up to say it that way, but that's how bad it is. Is that we got like you got people putting up Sydney Sweeney as like the next sex symbol or the next Marilyn Monroe kind of thing. And for somebody like me who sees this shit, I'm just like, man, she's becoming the next Zendaya. That's how I see it, right? And the thing is, when it comes down to somebody like Sydney Sweeney, how easily it's achievable, right? Because it's not like as though she hits the gym, even though she just had a boxing role where she actually trained, because she's an actor, so she needs to, change into the role of whatever she's acting in. But the body that Sydney Sweeney has, at least the one that I've been looking at, is not a body that's achieved by high maintenance working out or whatever like that, or eating certain foods. All she's doing is not being a fucking fat ass and probably going for a walk once or twice or three times a week or some shit like this, right? Nothing crazy compared to what a guy has to do to be on that same thing, right? What does a guy got to do to be Sydney Sweeney levels of marketing in this day and age, the way that they're doing it, right? Steve Jackman, well, dude's fucking shredded. Also, he's Wolverine. I'm thinking of guys who they would prop up the same way. Henry Cavill, also another fucking jacked ass goddamn dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing is, they gotta sacrifice so much just to be on the same level as Sydney Sweeney, and it's kind of sad. Anyway, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys next one. Peace.